Hey, this is Alan Yip, founder of MindEdge, and today I want to share with you one of my favorite stories. It's called The Acres of Diamonds. It's a true story. It's told of an African farmer who had heard tales of other farmers who had made millions by discovering diamond mines. And he was so excited by these stories that he could hardly wait to sell his farm in search of all these gleaming gems. And he sold his farm and he spent the rest of his life wandering the entire African continent looking for diamonds. But in the end, he was totally disillusioned and worn out, and sadly, he threw himself into the river and drowned. Meanwhile, the man who bought his property had happened to be crossing the stream one day, and he saw a flash of blue and red light coming from the bottom of the river. So he went over there and curiously he picked up this rock, pretty good size, and he looked at it and he thought it was a very nice crystal, and he brought it back and put it on top of the fireplace mantle. Several weeks later, his friend visited him and his friend saw this rock, very unusual looking. So the friend was examining this stone and asked the owner of the property, "Do you know what you had found?" And of course the owner said, "No, not really. I thought it was a nice crystal." And the visitor said, "You had found one of the largest diamonds ever discovered." Now, the owner had trouble believing it because he said the creek was full of such stones, although not all as large as the one he found. Well, what is the moral of the story? This is very interesting because, in fact, that property turned out to be one of the most productive diamond mines on the entire African continent. When you look at this, the irony is the original farmer had sold his property, rushing off to look for diamonds, whereas the other person was sitting on the acres of diamonds. What that means for us, for you, is all of us are in some way or form sitting on top of our own acres of diamonds. So when you look at your job or the work that you are doing, can you ask some very constructive questions such as, what can I do to add value and more value to my organization, to my boss, to my clients, to my team members? And what other skills must I acquire in order to be world-class, in order to be the best in my field? Because just like in this case, if you have not learned how to spot a diamond in its rough state, you cannot tell a rock or a stone from a true diamond, right? So we need to learn some skills that will serve us, that will propel us to the highest level of achievement. Another area is, what talents or skills do you already possess that you are not using? Ask yourself, what comes to me naturally? What is one thing that I would love to do day in and day out that can earn me a comfortable living? It's very important for us to do what we love doing. And the third area is, look at the network of friends and business contacts and acquaintances that you have. Which person can serve as the mentor or coach to you? Because we can always learn something from other people who have gone through trials and tribulations, people who are successful. And which contact or company can you form strategic alliances with? And think about these areas or these opportunities. I think lastly, like the original farmer who ran off, escaped from his property in search of something better, right? For all of us, we have the tendency to escape from the problems and challenges that we are facing. But that is not the way to do it, however. The true meaning and success comes from not running away from or not escaping from these problems and frustrations. Rather, the true meaning and success comes from gaining victories over them. And I hope the story and these pointers serve you today. Until we meet again, live with passion and love without condition.